What's up, friends, family, and frenemies? It's your girl, Dr. Shonna, and I have you on my walk with me for just a little bit. I want to talk to you about these sister locks and your self-esteem. Now, there's a lot of people who struggle with their hair and not liking their hair, and they contribute the way they feel about themselves to the way they feel about their hair. I used to see that a lot, especially for people who wear weaves and wigs and extensions. A lot of them don't like the way they look with their own hair. So they put on this additional hair because it enhances to them. It enhances how they look, and therefore it enhances how they feel about themselves. Now the concept, I truly understand the concept. You know the saying that goes, when you look good, you feel good. And that saying is true to an extent. But if you have low self-esteem, in some people's cases, it don't matter how good you look, you're not going to like yourself. And take that same concept and apply it to getting sister locks. It's the same thing. Your locks can be flowing, they can be beautiful, they can be gorgeous, get a lot of compliments, but if you don't like the way you feel about yourself, your sister locks aren't going to change that. And that's what I want to talk to you all about. So, it's been 4 years as of tomorrow that I've been locked. And I appreciated my journey from the very beginning up until where I am right now. And I'm looking forward to where I'm going. However, I came across a young lady, a young sister, who had locked her hair, and it was in the baby stage of her locks, meaning she was newly locked, maybe like a year in. And I didn't know that she was locked. And the reason why I didn't know that she was locked was because she had a wig on her head. And she was admiring my locks, right? This is a year ago, so I was 3 years in. She was admiring my locks and asking me a lot of questions about my locks and why I chose to get my sister locks. And then after I answered all her questions, she said, well, I'm locked too. And I've been locked for a year. And I said, oh my God. And so I did say to her, because those of you guys who know me, I'm a blunt person, and not because I try to be, right? And not because I want to hurt people's feelings, but because that's just my personality. And so I had asked her, why do you have that on your head if you are locked? And she said to me, the reason why she has on this wig is because she doesn't like the way her locks look. She said, I want them to have some hang time, some length. And when my locks grow out, then I'll stop wearing my wig. So right there, that told me that this sister has a self-esteem issue. Because you, what it seemed to me, you got locks because you like the way it looks on other people's hair. And you wanna go and get the same benefits that other people have when their locks are fully matured, they're grown in, they have some hang time, you could do a thing or two with them. And until that happens, you're not, once again, pleased with the way you look. And so you are still in the same mindset of covering up your natural hair because you think it is unattractive. That was my takeaway. Now, did she say this? No. But as a therapist, my mind went there immediately. Because you would go to the length of getting a natural, permanent hairstyle i.e. locks. Well, permanent, you know what I mean when I say permanent, because I know some of y'all be too damn literal and y'all start knocking everything down. But you know what I mean. You go get a natural, basically permanent hairstyle just to cover it up again, because once again, you're not liking how you look. My takeaway is that is a self-esteem issue. And no wig, no weave, no braids, no locks are going to change that. If you don't like the way you look, and if you don't feel good about yourself, getting locks ain't going to change that. That work has to be internal work that you must do in order for you to get yourself into a better place. I remember at the beginning of my journey, 4 years ago, was I in love with how my locks were looking at that time? Yes, I was. Now, I know some of y'all thought I was going to say no, but I didn't say no because that would not be the truth. I was. Now, were there things about my locks that I was like, ugh, I wish were different? Of course. Did I wish I had hang time? Yes, I did. Of course. Did I wish that my hair was more even? Yes, I did. Of course. But when I got my hair locked, my hair was layered. So I had so many different levels in my locks that it was looking crazy, y'all. But I wore my locks happily, without any problem. I just wore my locks. And so when I had my locks at the very beginning, I admired them. I tried more things with them when they were shorter than I do now. I was so pleased that I didn't have to wake up to do my hair. I was so pleased with how simple it was to just get up and go. I was pleased with my hair overall. But when people start comparing themselves to other people, they will find every reason not to be pleased with their hair and not appreciate the journey. In order for me to get to where I'm at, and granted, I'm not yet where I want to be. However, in order for me to get to where I am at, I have to appreciate the journey. And I have to embrace the journey. Because for me, that's what locking my hair actually means. That means embracing the journey, loving all of me, no matter what. Loving my flaws, loving my natural hair, loving everything about me, no matter what. And locks has taught me that. Locks has taught me to be proud of who I am and that my style is acceptable. Now, it's starting to sound a little bit motivational, and that's not my intent. So I want to put a little disclaimer on that, because I know a lot of people out here that do motivational speaker. They'll get there and they'll play on the strings of your emotions and have you feeling so like excited about what's being said, and they're really not telling you a small component. For most people who talk like this, we already come with self-esteem that's high. We already have confidence. We already have that oomph, that thing about us. I know I've always had that, whether I was straight, natural, weaved, braided, I've always had that. So maybe it was easier for me to embrace my locks and my lock journey, the awkward stage at the beginning, the different levels of lengths, the being able to see through your scalp as clear as day, the shortness of it, the not being able to do any styles with it, right? Maybe I had a better time embracing those things because my self-esteem wasn't low, right? My confidence wasn't low. My sex appeal wasn't struggling. Maybe I had a better time embracing those things than others. But what I'm saying to you all in this video, and then I'm out of here, is getting locks ain't gonna change that. If you struggle in those areas, in your self-esteem, in your confidence, in your sex appeal, if those are areas you struggle with, I don't care what you put on your head, you're always gonna have it. You're always gonna have low self-esteem. You could put a weave on your hair, it could be the baddest weave in the world, or the baddest wig in the world, but you're always gonna be conscious, or self-conscious is what I should say. You're always going to be self-conscious about your hair because you're going to be wondering, how does it look to everybody else? You're going to be wondering, can you see my track? You're going to be wondering, is it all right? Does this look natural? Does this part look natural? Oh my God, I need some gel to put my size down. You're always going to have something that you're wondering about because you're always going to be thinking that someone else is looking at you and judging your hair. And they probably are. They probably are judging your ridiculous hair. Just like they're probably judging my ridiculous hair, right? My point is, people are going to judge you no matter what. People are going to have something to say about you no matter what. People are going to be in disagreement with you no matter what. But that shouldn't be the reason why you dress up for other people. That shouldn't be the reason why you lock your hair for other people, right? You got to be confident in who you are. You got to do what you do because that's just who you are, as opposed to trying to placate other people, appease other people, you know? So my advice to you all, because I'm out of here, my advice to you all is simple. Embrace your lock journey. You don't have to worry about what other people are going to say. Love it at every stage of the game. If they're short, love them. If they're thin, love them. If they're long and thick, love them. If you have hang time, love them. Love you. Love your hair. Don't get Sisterlocks because you think it's going to change the way you feel about yourself, because it's not. If you already have some effed up thoughts about yourself, if you already criticize yourself, if you already speak harshly about yourself, if you're already afraid of wearing certain things or exposing certain parts of your body because you don't want to be judged, if you're already afraid of those things, Sisterlocks ain't going to change them things, baby. That's some internal work that you have to do. And I suggest get your hair locked and still do the work. You get what I'm trying to say? All right, y'all. Peace out. Love you kindly.